By the time I was 10, 11, 12 years old, I was playing in arenas that were selling out.
That's
like
crazy, dude. You were like a circuses in town.
A little bit. And in
I mean,
those
not
days,
like that, but like
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But in those days, too, it was such a big world because there was no internet, there was no cell phones. And so a kid might be 3 hours away. and
you'd hear about him.
And you would hear about him. And then when you play against them, my dad would be in the car, and after the game, he would say to me, his favorite line was always, no matter how good you think you are, there's somebody out there better than you. And I'd say, okay. And even when I was 15, 16, when people said, okay, he's going to be a professional hockey player, my dad never one time said, he's a can't miss or he's going to make it. I mean, he hoped because he knew how much I loved it, but he never pressured me. The only thing he pressured me about is he would call me, say, you didn't miss any classes today. So he's
really?
I said, Dad, I don't miss class because if I miss class, the team, so I was playing junior hockey. And it was hard because we practiced every day and we travel a lot.
Yeah.
And so the team was always on you, like, you better be in class. So he was more concerned that I was in class. I remember I was 17 and I had this school teacher, and I was taking a physics class, and I hated physics and chemistry. I kept thinking, where am I going to use this in the world?
Yeah.
That's all I kept thinking. Anyway. And he said, if you just put the work in, I'll pass you. So I did. I went to class. I went to an extra class every day with him, and he worked an extra half hour every day. He passed me. And that was the year, that month, I got offered to turn pro, and I signed a pro contract. And I remember I came back, and I bought him a gift. It wasn't a big thing. It was like a briefcase or something, thanking him for for being so patient with me and being so nice to me. He was so grateful. And it was always sort of, when I signed, my dad said, you're going to stay pro hockey. You're going to stay in high school till you're 18. I don't care what you do, but you're going to school till you're 18. So here I am playing pro hockey.
Going to high school?
I was picking up my teammate's daughter. We were in the same class.
No way.
The guy's name was Jim Nielsen, and I would pick his daughter up. We were in the same school, same class. Then I'd go to practice.
You were like Ice Presley.
So the principal called me in one day and he said, son, I don't know, you're not going to amount to anything. You're missing too many classes. And I'm like, well, and he said, I should just kick you out. And I said, listen, it was like early January. And I said, listen, do me a favor. And he goes, what? I said, give me till January 26th. And if I haven't changed my act by then, you can kick me out. But I knew I couldn't go to class because we were always traveling and playing. I was playing pro hockey, playing in Quebec City and going to Cincinnati. And
did you have an ego? Were you in class? Were you like the Fonz at this point in class?
I sat in the back corner. I just mind my own business. So the day I turned 18, I walked into the principal and I said, I just want to thank you for not kicking me out, but I quit. I'm done. And I quit school. And I called my dad, and my dad said, well, you promised me to stay to 18. Because the contract wasn't valid unless he would sign it.
Unless your father would sign it.
Because I wasn't 18 yet. Wow. And so he said, I'll sign it, but you got to stay in high school.
So did you ever finish high school technically?
No, but I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything? So, I'm an honorary doctor.
Hey, it counts to me, bro.
So
dude, if you get most of the 12 grades, I think that's a lot. People are always like, you got to do all of them.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. When I was 15 years old, I was playing on a junior hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so exciting because one of my teammates was Murray Howe, who was Gordie Howe's youngest son.
Oh, wow.
And he's just a wonderful kid. And I wore number 9 that year because I always loved Gordie. Mm-hmm. And so when he came in, I said, look, you should wear number 9. Your dad's Gordie Howe. I'll switch my number. And he goes, no. This is, Wayne, this is my last year of hockey. I'm going to enjoy it. And I go, okay. He goes, I'm going to be a doctor. He was a really intelligent guy. And he did go on to become a doctor. So we get on the team bus and we travel to the city. He'd get on there and he'd have all these books, right? And I'd get on, no books. And he goes, Wayne, you got to get your education. I go, I'm going to a hockey game. I can't think about reading right now and doing homework. And so about 2 weeks later, I got on the bus and I had like 5 or 6 books. I sit down beside him and he goes, good to see you're taking notes here, Wayne. That's good. Good for you. And he goes, what do you got? Geography, history? I go, well, I got Gordie Howe, Hockey My Way. Gordie Howe hockey tips. I said, you want to be
Gordie
a doctor?
Howe sings Christmas.
Yeah, you want to be a doctor? I want to be a hockey player. But Gordie was so nice. He was just so. It was a dinner. It was a charity dinner. This is an incredible story. And 700 people were at the dinner, and that was the year I scored 400 goals. So the city wanted me to be part of it. And you know, when you're 10 years old, you can't even stand up and do a speech in front of your classmates, right? So they had told the guy.
So you're only 10 at this time.
Yeah. So they had told the MC, Wayne, just introduce him. He's not going to talk. And so Joe Theismann was there.
What?
Yeah. Gordie Howe.
When you were 10?
Yeah. Sandy Hawley, a famous jockey. And so they all get up and they kind of talk for 7 or 8 minutes and people laugh and giggle. So the guy announces my name and I'm like, oh no. And I'm already frozen. And Gordie says to me, now listen, when you go up there, just tell them you lost without your skates and your hockey stick. And so I got, okay. So I got up there and I was shaking. And I remember I said, thank you. And I started bawling. I got a standing ovation. I went and sat down.
Yeah. You remember like the first date you ever went on when you were a kid or something like that?
Really, hockey was my life.
It was, huh?
Yeah,
It was your girlfriend.
I didn't have one, just hockey. Yeah, just, you know, I had a junior A coach when I was 16 years old playing with 19, 20-year-olds. And he would say, playing junior hockey is really hard. But being a professional hockey player is a great life. And so you said, you got hockey, you got schooling, and you got nightlife. And you can only do 2 of the 3. So make sure you pick the right 2. So when you're 16 years old, it was my life. I loved, lived, and died it. Go to school from 8:30 to 3 o'clock, practice 4 to 6 every night, play usually Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, back to school, same thing, same routine.
When you see like how you were compared to like how some other players were, right? Did you think that you almost had like a abnormality, how much you liked it or how much you focused on it? Like, was it that kind of thing? Because I see players, I have friends that are good at things and friends that really are.
Let's put it this way. I knew there's a lot of other really good players and athletes, but for me, you know, especially when I got to be 16, I knew that was my life. Like I knew it wasn't going to be a great student. I knew it was going to be hard for me to get a college degree. I understood that. I knew my forte was going to be hockey. And growing up, playing baseball, track and field, lacrosse, and I encourage parents all the time, all those sports helped my hockey.
Oh, yeah.
And so by the time I got to 16, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I want to be a professional hockey player. And so I really, that was my focus. And the only advice my dad used to give me really was, you got a great opportunity here to really have a wonderful life. And the good Lord blessed you with a love and a passion like I've never seen before. And sort of like, don't blow it, don't throw it away. And so I always kind of thought that I never thought I was missing out going to a different city or going here or doing this. My enjoyment was being on the ice.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was missing anything else. Like,
wow.
I never even fazed me.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And, you know, I can remember my dad saying, you know, you're going to have so many opportunities here. For some reason, you know, with your aunt being Down syndrome and you growing up with that, and the Canadian Institute for the Blind was in my hometown of Brantford. Like, there's more than just hockey. Like, one day you're going to be a symbol for good things. And so I kind of grew up with it, right? That was kind of my education.
What a powerful thing to say to a child too, you know, that they have if they do their best, you know, not even do their best, but if they
can help people.
They make enough effort that they have the possibility to be a symbol for good.
Yeah, and so
that's really powerful.
Yeah, and so, you know, I guess, you know, I became Wayne Gretzky, and so just had a love for it. That's all.
Is it hard? Like,
trust me, there was a lot of guys with more talent than I had.
Right.
There's a lot of guys who were better than I was.
Really?
And then there's some guys that I just wanted it more than.
Yeah.
But by no means was I the best player ever. There were so many great players. I'm fine. I'm happy with what I accomplished. I'm happy. I did it. I'm happy I'm done. but that's all kind of behind me now. I don't worry about it. It's like I get parents that come up to me, you know, mothers are hardest, right? And my mom was worse too. She chased down Bobby Hall to get an autograph for me. And so when moms grab me, I go, I get it. My mom did it for me too. But the moms will always say to me, will you tell my son how many hours a day he used to practice? And I go, that's not it. And she go, what do you mean? I go, that's not it. I said, I just did it because I loved it. If you have to say you got to be out there 2 hours or 3 hours, you're in the wrong thing. I just was there all day long because I loved it.